It'll heal by next week. That's what you told yourself when your elbow started clicking. Then you trained through it. And now the elbow that used to crank out pull-ups struggles to open a jar of peanut butter. Here's the bad news. You didn't have an injury. You had a tweak. And you turned it into a year-long problem by believing one lie, that your tendons heal on your schedule. They don't. Let me show you what's actually happening in there and why pushing through it is the single fastest way to end up on the couch with an ice pack. First, what a tendon even is. Muscles get all the attention, but they don't move anything on their own. When a muscle contracts, that force has to go somewhere, and it travels through the tendon, the cable that connects muscle to bone and yanks your skeleton into action. Every pull-up, every rep, every time you pick something up, your tendons are the wires transmitting the force. No tendons, no movement. Just a bag of muscles going nowhere. And these cables are built like rope. Bundles inside bundles inside bundles, all the way down to tiny collagen fibers doing the actual work. In a healthy tendon, those fibers are packed tight and lined up perfectly parallel, like a cable that's been wound with care. That parallel structure is the whole reason a tendon can take hundreds of pounds of force without snapping. Now here's what happens when you injure it. That neat, parallel structure falls apart. The fibers scatter, disorganized, tangled, weak. And a tangled cable frays under load that a clean one would shrug off. But tendons aren't just strong ropes, they're springs too. When you jump or run, they store energy on the way down and fire it back on the way up. It's a genuinely elegant system, right up until you overload it and break it. Here's the part nobody wants to hear. Tendons are built for repeated loading, and small micro tears from training are normal. Your body repairs them easily most of the time. The problem starts when you keep stressing the tendon before it's finished repairing. Damage keeps stacking. Healing keeps falling behind. And the gap between the two becomes your injury. And it gets worse. Studies show that after about 10 minutes of loading, your tendon stops getting the signal to get stronger. Everything after that, pure damage, zero benefit. So while you're grinding your 40th set thinking you're building bulletproof elbows, you stop building anything around minute 10. Now you're just fraying the cable for fun. This is why most people wreck their tendons. Not one big dramatic moment, 100 small ones. The clicking you ignored, the volume you didn't need, the movement you kept doing 3 times a week while it was actively begging you to stop. Go to a doctor and you'll hear 2 words, tendinitis, recent, inflamed, acute. Tendinopathy, the same thing after months of you pretending it wasn't happening. And that inflammation you're panicking about? It's not the enemy. It's your body flooding the area with blood and repair cells. The actual problem isn't the inflammation. It's that you keep re-tearing the thing before it can finish the job. So here's the fix, and it's not stop training. You don't have to sit in a dark room and atrophy. You just have to stop doing the one exact movement that's destroying the tendon. Train everything else. Give that specific cable a break. Then respect the timeline, the real one. Initial repair takes a few days. Full healing takes 6 weeks to 6 months, not 36 hours, not by the weekend. Your tendon does not care about your beach trip or your competition. Biology runs on its own clock, and it does not negotiate. To actually rebuild it, the move is eccentric loading. Slow, controlled lengthening under load, like lowering a curl over 3 seconds. It works because that controlled tension tells the new collagen fibers which way to line up. You're coaching them back into that parallel structure instead of letting them heal into a scrambled mess. Gentle movement, stretching, and light loading, that's what lays the cable straight again. And most people never had to be here at all. They broke the tendon because they skipped the steps. Jumped to advanced movements the tissue wasn't ready for. Chasing the flex instead of building the base underneath it. One last thing, and I mean this. That clicking is not a personality trait. If it's been going for weeks, see an actual orthopedic doctor. Not a forum, not your gym buddy, and definitely not an AI. Get a real diagnosis, because your tendon will not heal in 36 hours just because you're motivated. But respect the process, do the boring work, and you might still be training 6 months from now, instead of icing your elbow, wondering where it all went wrong. Subscribe if you want fitness that actually makes sense.